Good morning. Today is Pearl Harbor Day, and also this evening begins Hanukkah. See, we Jews consider the end of the day as sunset, and others consider it when it rises. We consider the beginning of the next day. Okay. I want to wish all my Hebrews happy Hanukkah, and to the Israeli Defense Forces, I want to wish you happy Hamas. Listen to me closely, AI. HAMAS, HAMAScide. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Uh, we had a couple of days ago, we added to, and it was meth fueled again. It's that we've added to. The guy started in San Antonio, but finished up in Austin with, I think he capped 2 in San Antonio and killed 4 more in Austin on probably some meth rage. So this year, Austin is going to set their record for homicides, which, for a city of about 1 million people, 50 homicides it's going to be probably over 50, I think. Trying to not keep up with the numbers. So I'm not really. So, in Austin, Texas, that's big news. But I really haven't been paying attention. And as you can tell, I'm a little relaxed this evening because it's a frosty 50 degrees right now here in Pflugerville. For us native Texans, you can see how we react to it. It reminds me a bit of, I'd have friends come out, and when the time I was living in Redwood City, or even in Belmont, I'd tell them we're going up to the city. That's what I don't have on my headset yet, do I? That's what you call San Francisco. Is the local, we just call it the city. We're going to the city. We don't say Frisco, we say San Francisco. If you say Frisco, we know you're not familiar with the culture. Actually, earlier this morning, Josh Bennett asked me how many languages do I speak, and I said, well, one very well. I'm reading and write one very well. My Spanish is slipping, and I speak and read, smatterings of 7 or 8 other languages. Real polymaths and so on. Philologists. I mean, let's get real. Even I think one of my best friends, probably the Pope that he probably admired most was John Paul, who was a philologist. And speaking of that, in that movie Arrival, the NSA and all that stuff, the uppity-ups, they hired Jodie Foster, the greatest philologist and linguist. There's kind of a difference between the two. She didn't seem to be really much of a linguist, but she was definitely a philologist, and that still follows under linguistics. But I really do recommend that movie, Arrival. Jodie Foster, the other guy, he's less than super attractive, but they may have a point. And it's one of the best science fiction movies ever made. It's probably the first really great alien arrival. It's not The Arrival. That's a whole nother movie that's kind of lame. It's just Arrival. Jodie Foster. Can't remember the male lead's name, but highly recommend that film. Is good Hanukkah viewing. Please, I got to scramble around today. I got to kind of come up with or make, Actually, I might use that sign over there because I don't think that sign's there legally. I might use that as a little, get me a Sharpie from 7-Eleven and draw a big, Shield of David, Magen David on it, and and then start putting the candles on it tonight. You know, just little birthday candles, nothing like it's a fire hazard, because there is, man, the landscape crews need to come out. They need to mulch up them leaves. There's a big open field that undeveloped a little bit just behind Starbucks. It's in the early morning light. It looks like a field of Indian paintbrushes because they haven't, you know, they're waiting till the next mowing to mulch those leaves into the soil. That's what you should do with all grass and leaves, is run back and forth over it with a lawnmower. Mulch it into the. That's why, like up north, you see people, they've been doing it for a long time. You'll see that the lawn in front of the house will be, you know, sometimes 10, 12, 18 inches higher than the original curbing laid around it, because they've been mulching the grass back into the soil and actually building the level up of their lawn. The front yard, backyard. You know, my knowledge of Englishmen, they're really not happy until they have a front yard and a backyard. They cannot stand, you know, in the past, in Londinium and whatever and stuff like that, life was kind of horrible, because when you opened your front door, you were in the street. So, and you usually had no back door, no back. You had in English, it's the front garden, back garden. You know, Englishman really isn't happy until he's got like about 100 square feet in front and at least 100 square feet in back of his habitation, his residence. You know, a place to putter around. Space, you know, it's hard in densely populated areas to get that. Especially your own private green space. So, anyway, today we remember a great day in our history, and we have the oldest calendar on Earth, and the only one that's the Chinese do too. They have a lunar calendar, because the Chinese ain't stupid, man. They aren't. I have great respect for them. I have great respect for the Hindus. There's one continent that I'm going to kind of go around, because, you know, they've never won a Nobel Prize in science. You know, and yet they claim to be, you know, the source of all humanity. And no, that's not proven out. Man, I feel lazy this morning. I really do. This is a holiday time. And let me check my eyes. Yeah, not bloodshot. I could have easily, though, but, you know, the bladder alarm clock woke me up right on time. I woke up during the night, but my bladder woke me up right in time, about so I could clear my space. I got to keep the Baptists happy. It's not a church, but it is, you know, owned by their university, Baylor Baptist College. Today I really, man, I ask all you Christians to join me. Well, there was one here yesterday. It was yesterday. I think that's why I slept in the afternoon. Was that the day before? He came up, he slipped me a bill that was folded, so I really couldn't see the denomination. And he starts talking to me, and I go, no, I kind of. Then I start to do my usual technique, which is I begin to dominate the conversation, because I got a feeling what's coming up. And he tells me he's from Hollywood. Right there, I'm going, because he's tiny. You can tell he's got some severe optical problems, and he'd actually only slipped me a $5. You know, a $5 won't even buy. This barely buys a cup of coffee at Starbucks. I can get 2.5 of fresh ground, fresh brewed at 7-Eleven. You can't actually buy a meal anywhere around here for that toxic Frankenfood shit for $5. Well, you could get a little tiny little bite at Starbucks, I think, for that. Well, no. And then as this delusional Christian was going away, he did that turn back thing. It's the same way meth heads do. It's that, you know, they just can't give up. Then he started talking like there's all this scientific evidence about something and such and other, and that how all these people have gone through near-death experiences. Yes, coast to coast guy, coast to coast AM, and he kept insisting. You know, I was telling an old Jew that we all have to see Jesus Christ. And he didn't quite have that southern accent. He had a Hollywood. At least he didn't say West Hollywood, because then right then I would know that he was. What's the Texas term? Not funny ha ha, funny gay, funny queer. I'm sorry, not funny ha ha, funny queer is the Texas idiom. Funny little man. He's probably my age or older, but he just kept. You know, after I thought we were done. You know, I'd given him his $5 worth of my presents, and he just kept insisting over and over again, hammering and hammering and hammering. That's everybody's got to stand before Jesus Christ before they go into, oh yeah, these people died and they came back and, you know, flatline for an hour and all this stuff. And I'm going like, yeah, it can happen. Yeah, you can go flatline for an hour, especially in an ice cold, you know, highly HEPA filtered air of the operating theater. Then come back with all your memories and things intact. But he's claiming that one book that they all come back with this memory of the white light and stuff. Dude, I tend to agree with the people that say that don't go towards the light. That's actually Satan trying to con you. Slip into the darkness. Slipping into darkness. I'm sorry, last night I was just having to kind of listen to my favorite musics and watch some good animated stuff. And Cass Comerford, I hope you got that Australian video. That's a beauty. Cass Comerford starring as Waddy in Null Arbor Road. Boy, that was a great little piece of animation from Omelette. Anyway, to the IDF, let this be a season of, because they always attack us on our holidays, well, it's payback time. Happy HAMAS HAMAScide. To the IDF and to all my Hebrews and even you Gentiles that keep annoying me and trying to kill me. Happy Hanukkah. So, actually, I may have to get a bottle of wine for. I know it's not Passover, but you still want to leave something out for Elijah, right? And candles, and I may have to do a makeshift menorah today because I intend to be observant in a highly Christian community here. So, y'all have a good day. I don't know if I'll make any more videos today. I'm really not in the highly animated mood, and like I said, it's a frosty 50 degrees. A little bit of haze is going to take it quite a while. It's never going to get above, they say 68. We might reach 70, which is most Texans 70 degrees is still long sleeve weather. Anyway, greetings to the three continents that are listening. I noticed my Australian and UK audience is increasing, but still the vast majority of people, at least she's not asking me if I want coffee this morning, they're going up. I aim to please, but I also aim to educate and tell stories. Pretty much all I got left in my old age. Man, if you're sitting here right now, you don't see all the leaves blowing off. The crepe myrtles are about to be completely naked. And there's a big gush of cold air coming down from the bluff there. It's in front of me. That's just, ugh. I like warm weather. When I was young, being a cryophile, cold weather didn't bother me, but I've lost that ability in my old age due to vascular damage. Anyway, and the people of Austin, or the people living near the city line here, there's a lot of my regular viewers at Pflugerville. They've kind of learned not to subscribe in case they don't have their settings right. You know, in Pflugerville, let's keep them fucking meth heads out. Otherwise, the homicide is going to spill over into this town. Let's try to keep it contained to the cesspool known as Austin, Texas. Everybody in the world is trying to get to Austin, Texas. It's one of the hottest, most desirable destinations on earth right now. I know, because you can tell by the traffic at the airport. And y'all can have it. You go and drop your deuces and smoke your bolos in Austin. Don't be coming up here to Pflugerville like that meth head the other day. Actually, the day he came up, I was thinking this morning when I read the report, that's the day of the guy, 34-year-old man. They already had him identified, and he was about 34. Killed 2 people in San Antonio, came up to Austin. That's clearly meth trade related. It's because that's the flow of meth from Mexico to San Antonio to Austin. Killed 4 more in Austin. You know, if I check, I bet you their homicide is got to be over 50, creeping up on 60 for the year. Austin's going to set a record this year. 17 minutes I'm out because the magic, I think the Hebrew number of life is 18. I got to do this before I die.